Hi, my name's Tim Perdue, and welcome to Idaho Indie, your source for the best independent music in Idaho today. Today on the show, we'll be talking with Storie Grubb. We'll talk with the eccentric Boise artist about his music and art and surviving artistically in southern Idaho. First, let's talk about the recent Giants in the Trees show in Boise. Chris Novoselic, the bassist of Nirvana's new band, Giants in the Trees, played at the Neurolux in downtown Boise last August. Local artist Storie Grubb had the opportunity to open for one of his idols. We talked to him about his recent show. Enjoy. Giants in the Trees, the new band of Nirvana's bassist Chris Novoselic, played a show at the Neurolux in Boise last August. Boise's own Storie Grubb opened for them. Many in the crowd were there to see Storie. This was his first show since his 2018 Treefort show. Storie told me that Nirvana and Kurt Cobain were a major influence on his music.
But then when I was about 15, then I discovered Nirvana, and my brother went into the army and I got all the CDs. And I'd never heard anything like that. I mean, I'd heard Nirvana on the radio, but I didn't hear it, you know what I mean? The reason I started playing guitar was because of Kurt Cobain. But yeah, so I was really very, very much influenced by him, and I learned as many Nirvana songs as I could when I first started.
Storie told me that he jumped at the chance to open for Giants in the Trees.
I just randomly got an email from a member of the community that does a lot of stuff for local bands, and he asked if any incarnation of Storie Grubb would be interested in opening up for Giants in the Trees. As simple as that, really. And I said, hell yeah. And that's when I immediately just asked all the guys, because I just wanted it to be a rockin' show. But I wanted to go up there and play just some straight up grungy rock and roll, loud stuff, just because, of the gentleman who was in that band. And I just wanted to share my, because a lot of those songs are just really fun and loud and stupid, so it was just my opportunity to give back.
In the 30-minute set, Storie played familiar songs for his fans and received a warm reception from the crowd. Many were excited after this long wait. It was an exciting show for both bands, and let's hope Storie plays another show soon. Over the last decade, Storie Grubb has been making art and music out of Boise. Storie Grubb and the Holy Wars were number 9 on Pace Magazine's 10 Idaho bands you should listen to right now in 2014. The article described the music as the vocals balance on the fragile line between a warble and a whine, sometimes backed by concussive guitars and other times by simple acoustic plucking. Storie is known in the area for his alternative folk rock sound. I've had the opportunity to talk to him at his home studio recently after the Giants in the Trees show. We talked about creating art and music in Boise. Here's the interview. Originally from Paradise, California, Sean Kelly has lived in Boise for the last 9 years. Many that follow his social media sites know about his constant flow of art and music. Sean records and makes art under the moniker of Storie Grubb. The first thing I wanted to know was how the whole Storie Grubb thing came to be.
Basically, I went through a few different monikers and bands and things like that until I landed on Storie, and it just helped me kind of get outside think outside the box. I think a little bit better to have monikers, and I recommend it to anybody who's struggling if they have writer's block or something. Kind of start putting on different characters and different faces and stuff and trying new things out to get their juices flowing again, if you will.
Influenced by artists like Frank Black, Neil Young, and Kurt Cobain, Sean is known for his acoustic folk rock sound. Storie Grubb also blends and explores different alternative rock styles, which has been apparent over the last year as he tries to put out an album every month. I wanted to know how that experience has been going for him.
It's been really cool, actually, because I get to, if I have an idea one month that I don't get to, it's just I can just apply it to the next album the next month. But I've also wanted to try different things and be very, experimental, I guess. It's been surprisingly easy because I've been able to find a formula way. And then I think the hardest part of it all has been mixing, because you do all that work, but you want it to sound good. And so I think the mixing is like the hardest part for me, just because there's so much that could go wrong. But it's been fun, actually, and really it's pretty easy.
Sean is also a talented visual artist. I wanted to know what other visual artists have influenced him.
Visually, I love Robert Crumb. It's probably cliche, but I really got into Picasso heavily. But Dali as well, Salvador Dali, was a huge influence when I first started, seriously drawing pieces, making art and stuff. And then Joan Moreau. He's another Spaniard, but he's a really amazing artist. And yeah, I grew up like reading comic books too, so like a lot of comic book artists.
Always releasing art and music to his social media feeds and being part of the Boise scene, I wanted to know what he thought about Boise and its artistic future.
It's an oasis. It can be a haven for people. It's still very new, but yeah, Boise's cool. I mean, it's just like every other town, really, but it kind of reminds me of like, say, like a Portland or a Seattle like 20 years ago, even though it has grown a lot in the last few years because of Tree Fort and things like that. Just young people moving here and joining the community and that sort of thing.
Check out Storie Grubb's Bandcamp page at storiegrubb.bandcamp.com. His music is free to download. Also check out his Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. They're always a steady stream of original art and music. I'd like to thank Sean for his time. I suggest you follow his social media accounts. He's always releasing new art and music. We would like to close the show with his newest video, What's Wrong with Mom? It's from his July album, Threshold People. And we'll see you next time with new music from Lost Pages, live in our studio. You're not going to want to miss that. Thanks for your time, and I'll catch you next time. So sit back and enjoy Storie Grubb's What's Wrong with Mom?
What's wrong with Mom? There's a head in the fridge. What's wrong with Mom? There's a head in the fridge. What's wrong with Mom? What's wrong with Mom? There's a head in the fridge. A head in the fridge. Kinda looks like a porridge. What's wrong with Mom? There's a head in the fridge. What's wrong with Mom? She's singing a song. What's wrong with